Welcome to Dreamscape Divided. One of the longest running LEGO themes, even longer than Ninjago, if you can believe it, is LEGO Star Wars. And I remember having a book back when I was young that I would read when I was in the back of a car, just chilling. And it was called the LEGO Star Wars Visual Dictionary. And what I liked about it is I could see every single set ever released for LEGO Star Wars at that time. But there's a problem. That book only went up to about 2009? Maybe? And I don't know if you've noticed, but it's not 2009 anymore. It's at least 3 years past that. So we need to see more modern sets. We need to see all the sets. And by all the sets, I mean all the sets up until 2024, not including 2024, because I couldn't find a video that was that updated. So we're just going to be watching this video by a man named Trimmed Collects. He collected, as his name would suggest, every LEGO Star Wars set up to a certain point, about 5 months ago. So I'm going to be going through all of them, just staring at them, reacting to them, telling you what I think, and I'm going to be trying to figure out, this is my main goal, trying to figure out which year of LEGO Star Wars was the best. What was the peak year? Where did LEGO Star Wars really hit the nail on the head? Hit the brick on the stud. That doesn't work, but it's close enough. You get what I'm going for. Let's go to YouTube and look at sets. Whoop. Here we are. 88 likes. I've liked it. You should like it too, because this guy, Trimmed Collects, did all the work for us, and I appreciate that. Let us begin. Okay, one thing I immediately want to point out that I appreciate about this first set, we don't get a lot of things that are just environmental pieces in LEGO Star Wars sets now. Obviously, we get a lot of stuff like this, where it's just like a dude on a bike, or a dude on a vehicle, and then maybe another dude to fight him. That's par for the course, but a moisture farm thingy? That's cool. I like that. You drop that down anywhere on a table on your floor, you've immediately turned your play space into Tatooine. Simple as that. Otherwise, this bike could be anywhere. It could be in a different franchise. But no, you've placed it in Star Wars now. This didn't have it. I wish that rock in the back was made on a Lego. This one is just fine. Not much to comment on. I'm not going to comment on every single one, because we would be here for days. Here's another good example. I mean, look at this. Is this set fantastic? Not really. It's good for what it is. But the fact that you get some nice foliage, some water for the base, it really gives you this feeling that you are on Naboo, that you have entered this alien planet. Whereas if we would have got this today, it'd probably just be these two things and one of these two people, not both, because that's way too many minifigures for a small set. And they can't be giving us too much. See, here's another one. It's just the world's simplest tree. Is this tree ridiculously small for indoor? Absolutely, but I appreciate it. And you get two bikes. They got both of these dudes on the bikes right now, but you could put Luke on one and then have a speeder bike race. You could do anything. Even here. I wouldn't even, if I were designing this set, I would not know what the side build should be for this set. But we got a cool swoopy hair man standing beside a satellite dish. Great. I love it. Also, the snow speeder is interesting as a LEGO set, as a LEGO product, mini LEGO sets, because it's probably one of the few LEGO Star Wars vehicles that has not changed drastically over time. Like, you look at X-Wings from back in 1999, 2000, whenever the first one was, compared to now, they have evolved so much. The new ones look so much better. And I'm sure that's true for snowspeeders to an extent as well, but the general design has stayed very consistent. To the point where this one, when I look at this, I go, oh, is that the set that I got back in 2011? No, it's not. That's the original. Okay. Oh, I loved, dude, we need some more pod racers. If I could get one, what the heck is this art up here? Wait, I just noticed this. Qui-Gon looks insane in this artwork. Who is that? That's someone's dad. That's not him. But if I could request one series of Lego Star Wars sets to be made that's never been made before, I just want a bunch of the pod racer things we never got. We got Anakin's, we got Sebulba's multiple times. But things like Gazgano, Aldarbido, I want to see their pod racers in a more modern style. Would they sell well? Probably not, which is why they don't do it. But man, I would love that. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Dreamscape Theory. I don't know what the theory is, but I did feel like I needed to say that. There we go. There's the first X-Wing I was talking about. Yeah, if you compare this to a modern X-Wing, it's like, wow, Lego's come such a long way. But then if you go back to the old Snowspeeder, that's not that different. That looks fine. Oh, speaking of not looking fine, check out this one. Oh, no, that one's fine too. I like this set. This is a good one. It's a little too blocky at the front, but this is a solid first draft of what greatness would come one day. But this set, oh man, this looks like cheeks. What is this? People who are, you know how some mock builders are very opposed to studs showing on anything? They would hate this set. I think they would burn this set the second they saw it. This is a disgrace. Oh my goodness, dude. Why are there so many studs? Why is it so... someone built this in Minecraft. I'm not a huge fan of the newly revealed Darth Maul's Interceptor, whatever it's called, for 2024. But I definitely like it better than that old one. Luke, I am your father. Nuh-uh. I'm reading whatever people put in the chat. Just reading it verbatim. That's how I like to interact with the chat here. Just say it out loud. I love this set too. I'm not a huge Phantom Menace fan or anything, but I love this vehicle and I love the pod racers. And I think this is a pretty respectable first draft of this too. I mean, if you go back to the Darth Maul ship we just looked at and compare it to this, that other one looks so bad compared to this. This looks much more well-detailed, well-finished. Oh, this set's awesome. It's so good. I almost don't even care that they have weird scaffolding holding them together. It's been a week since I was live. That is true. That is how I do things here. I usually go live once a week on Monday or Tuesday. And then if I have a video to upload or post or whatever, it goes up Friday around 12 my time, EST. Since Balloons Tower Defense 6, and I forgot to tell you about lead balloons. Well, I think lead balloons was okay. I died to ceramic balloons last time. And I wasn't entirely sure why. I felt like they should have dealt with them. So a little confused. I will be returning to Balloons Tower Defense 6, but I wanted to give myself a little break so I didn't get tired of it. Go back to my home of Lego. Also, shout out to the year 2000. I didn't realize we were done with 1999. Last set was the Gungan sub. This is a good starting year. Like, none of the sets look amazing, but it was a solid start to what would become Legends. But yeah, 2000, really, like, people would lose their junk today if Lego did something like this. Just like, oh, here's Emperor Palpatine, Darth Maul, and Darth Vader in a set together. Just get them. Like, what? That, how? What? Are you sure about this? Same here. You want Luke, Han Solo, and Boba Fett? You got them. They're in a set together. What? Lego, you should do more stuff like this. Would the scalpers be mad? Probably. But that's a win in my book. Make those scalpers mad. I do like to make jokes and tell lies, but only lies for fun. I don't like to lie to hurt people. This one's a little less good. I could see a set like this coming out these days. This kind of reminds me of the battle packs they release, but worse. Because one of the battle pack people is Chewbacca. So, I mean, you could use him as a generic Wookiee, I guess. Oh, this one. I wonder if they were all sold for the same price, these 3 packs. Because if so, you're really not getting your money's worth with this one. 3 droids compared to Darth Maul, Darth Vader, and the Emperor. No thanks. Pokemon is taking over. What do you mean by that? Should I be scared? Is my life in danger right now? Desert Skiff. See, this is interesting. I don't think a set like this would be released today either, because what are the minifigures on this? Luke and Han Solo. They're fighting no one. There's no combat to be had. I don't think a Lego Star Wars set like that would exist today, unless it doesn't make sense for the scene for there to be enemies, but yeah, that's just a weird one. Han Solo has a spear. He's stabbing who? I guess Luke. Sorry, Luke. You're getting stabbed. These things were weird. They definitely, like, Lego doesn't make creatures of this style anymore, and you know what? This might be controversial. I think that's a good thing. I don't know what they were going for here, but I don't love it. I do like getting some Gungans, though. Maybe I do like Phantom Menace. I keep saying I don't, but I think I'm proving myself wrong every time I speak. Flash Speeder, I've got a more modern version of this. It slaps. This version's okay. It definitely looks like an older Lego set. Oh, this one really looks like an older Lego set. It's a decent A-Wing, but it kind of looks like something you would build out of just spare parts that you've collected over the years. Also, this guy definitely does not look like he belongs in Star Wars. This is just a janitor from your school. I think this is the janitor from my school back in the day. I didn't realize he made a cameo in this Star Wars set. Oh, this Slave 1 was bad. I forgot about this one. This really looks outdated in a way that other sets of this time do not. See, this one looks kind of okay. Still a little bit outdated, but not nearly as outdated as the blocky, small Slave 1. Also interesting that they gave this guy a cone on the front of his gun instead of a stud. I wonder what the distinction was there. What got a man a cone as opposed to a stud? What is going on with... Wait a second. What is that? Is that just a stack of tires? Why would they have a stack of tires at a pod race? These all float. What? Also, where... Did this set just come with this guy and Jar Jar? Jar Jar's not even a pod racer. Why is this guy so squishy and drawn? This is a weird set, dude. I love pod racers. I want to see more of them, but not at that scale. Wait a second. What is this? I have buy the new Dreamscape game of the board of games on a wired website that Dreamscape made and buys us his Terran card game I think I know what you're talking about. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if other people would know what you're talking about, but I can translate. So in the description, I have the chat advertising for me. In the description, I have posted a card game that I made, a trading card game like Pokemon, but not Pokemon. It's very easy to play, very quick to play. It's a 2-player card game. All you need is 30 cards to play. And it only costs $7 to get a pack of 15, which is enough for you. If you buy 2 packs, you got enough for you and your friend to play forever. You just don't want to make sense. Okay, well that's cool. I respect it. But yeah, if you are a fan of card games at all, you don't have to buy it, but I at least recommend checking it out. And if you want to check it out even more, buy it or go to my other channel called Dreamscape Cards, where I upload very infrequently, and check out the tutorial for the game. Anyway, I've used up all of my advertising time. Now I have none left. Which is a good thing for you, but bad for me. You buy 5 of them? Yes, please buy 5 of them. You might get some duplicates, but it'll be okay, because duplicates are allowed in this game. You can have as many duplicates as you want, as long as you don't put them in your deck on purpose. Alright, B-Wing. We don't get enough B-Wings. B-Wings are cool. Is this one cool? It doesn't look as cool as I'd want it to, but it's still cool that it exists as all. Wait. I just saw something that blew my mind. The same dude, the same janitor. He made his way into 2 different sets. That's crazy. Oh, here's a relevant set for the modern day. TIE Interceptor, big version. You know what? I don't think the new one looks that much better. That might be an insane thing to say. It might be based on the fact that the lighting is very dim, but I think both look pretty respectable. This doesn't look as respectable, though. I don't know why. That's something weird that LEGO used to do, is they couldn't just make things a color. If a thing was supposed to be just one color mostly, they didn't do it. This is supposed to be mostly brown, but it's got a ton of gray and tan mixed in. For why? For what purpose? I do not know. Is it to make it easier to build? Possibly. Is it to make it look more colorful so the kids will go, hey, colors, I want that? Maybe. But that's just a theory. A Dreamscape theory. Thanks for watching. It's not over. I really just like saying that because I really want to get to a point where I can actually make my voice gravelly like Matt Pat's, but it's not working. I don't know how he does it. It's magic. This Millennium Falcon doesn't look good either. Why? I didn't realize how big of a discrepancy there was between a good-looking set and a bad-looking set back in the day. Why is this... This has the same problem as the TIE Interceptor. It's just so dark. I have no idea what color this set is. This could be black. Just completely monochromatic black, for all I know. It's not. But based on the packaging, I think it is. A little Technic dude. That's cute for what it is. I think it's well done. I don't know why he's green. Is there a green pit droid? Not sure. This one's pretty well done too. I like it. His gun is kind of absurdly short, but other than that, he's looking nice. Whoa, why'd that set go away in a few seconds? That Droideka looks almost as good as the modern Droideka that we're getting today, but made on a Technic. He's probably shorter than he should be, but other than that, looks good. The Technic sets look better than the system sets at the time. Why are you spamming the chat with just yes and no? I mean, actually, you know what? I shouldn't complain. That's probably helping with engagement. Please continue to, as long as you don't get banned by YouTube for spamming. Droid Escape. This is the earliest Star Wars set that I own. I have this. I have the original C-3PO looking like just not good. I have these printed pieces. Yeah, this is fine for what it is. It does its job. Ooh, I like this set even better though. My summary of the year 2000, I think the 2000 sets were slightly worse than the 1999 sets. 1999 had more environmental stuff. It felt a little less blocky and steady across the board. Felt a little more complete. And it had pod racers, and you know I'm biased for those. So yeah, 1999 is the best year so far, to me. Oh, why was it so small? And once again, why does it have brown and tan? It doesn't need that. Lego must have just thought that you needed at least 3 colors or else people wouldn't care. I do love, though, that it had hip swivel action. You don't see that on modern sets. Show me a Lego set with hip swivel action, I dare you. Probably the most recent one I can think of is 2016 Bionicle dudes. This TIE Fighter, the wings did not look good. It was a little too simplistic. I also don't know why they're blue, but everything else about it is fine. I don't think it looks that bad. Probably a little too transparent towards the front, I guess, but... Oh, this looks good. This one looks decent for what it is. Wings probably have a bit too many studs for modern day standards, but it looks good overall. You gotta love yellow Palpatine. Interesting choice. What does it say? That, like, who made the decision to who was yellow and who was not at the time? Because Palpatine around this era has yellow skin, but Lando doesn't? That's a little suspicious. I don't like that. And clearly other people didn't either. Yo, Watto. Why is his torso tan? Why? Why is tan popping up everywhere? I'm scared. I do love this set though, because Aldarbito is the GOAT, and you can't tell me otherwise. Did he win the pod race? Absolutely not. But he's my favorite pod racer nonetheless. His minifigure looks like the most bizarre minifigure you've ever seen. It doesn't even look real. But I love it. And I love Aldarbito. And if I could marry Aldarbito, I might. Technic C-3PO, he's definitely looking worse for wear compared to the other Technic boys. I feel sorry for him. Someone help C-3PO right now. Stormtrooper's also looking a little rough. He looks like someone turned him into a robot. Whoa! This guy's terrifying. That is Satan. You know what? I can see why Christianity is so widespread across the world. They saw this man and they feared everything. They feared demons for the rest of their life. That's scarier than real Darth Maul. You look at real Darth Maul in the movie, he looks like a nice guy. Yeah, what is the chat? I'm not even saying anything that has a yes or no answer. Oh, this set looks great. See, Lego, I feel like a lot of people look at the old 1999, 2000, 2001 sets and they go, you know, Lego just didn't have the parts back then to make sets look great. So, that's why. That's why they look like this. But they were capable of making this. This looks good, and I love it. And I forgot this set even existed. Mini TIE Fighter. Well, ironically, the Mini TIE Fighter looks better than the big one from this time. Also, 2001, I gotta say, retrospective of the 2001 sets, I'm really not liking them across the board. I think they share many of the issues that the 2000 sets had. 1999 is still peak out of the 3 years we've looked at thus far. 2002, though, is immediately coming through with a banger with this set. It's got some environmental stuff. I don't know what it is, but it's... Whoa. Hey, no threats. No threats in the chat. I will not allow this. No threats against anyone. Even if you're joking. Remember what I said. I like to tell lies on this channel, but not if they hurt people. Anyway, why is his speeder bike blue? Let me look this up. Why is Count Dooku's speeder bike blue? Count Dooku speeder bike. Yeah, it's... Oh, so it's brown and blue. It's sort of a silvery blue. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I got it. I still feel like... Well, that's even weirder then, because LEGO has been making every set that should be one color multiple colors, and this set is supposed to be blue and brown, but they made it just blue. This year, Saw Gerrera has the Monkey Kid hilt for his cane, but doesn't get the Monkey Kid for his lightsaber. That is interesting. I mean, I feel like the Monkey Kid hilt is probably too long for a lightsaber hilt. Is it not? You meant Maul. Oh, okay. Yeah. I still feel like it might be too long, but if you're gonna give one person that for a lightsaber hilt, Maul is definitely the guy. I spent way too long on this set. My review is just, I wish this had some brown in it also. Otherwise, really good set. This one too. This is another good one. It shares a lot in common with the last one. Oh, thank you for the 100s. Is that your review of the last set? You gave it a 100? Or is that your review of me? Either way, I agree. This set slaps. 2 Tusken Raiders and a man who's going to kill them. That's awesome. The only thing that can make this better is if it also came with the Tusken Raider women and children to make it more accurate. Or their skeletons. Or Cal Kestis, which is still rumored. In Survivor, he can split his saber. Oh, okay. I'm not big up on the... is that a phrase people use? I'm not up on the lore of... or really the information at all of Jedi Survivor or anything associated with it, but I do know who that is. Well enough to know what you're talking about. Cloud City car is good. This set's great too. Okay, you know what? 2002 might finally be coming through with sets that are better than 1999. Although this one's a little suspicious. The Ewoks, they're not looking great. This catapult. Catapult? It shoots cows? What am I saying? I'm insane. This catapult is a little rudimentary, but everything else is good. The X-Wing looks about as good as it did back in 1999. It doesn't look like they improved it very much at all, but it definitely isn't worse. It's the same. This dude's Starfighter is surprisingly big. I didn't remember it being this big. It probably shouldn't be this big. Is this not the exact same set? Hold up. I think I either have severe deja vu or LEGO's pulling a fast one and releasing the same set twice, which should be a crime. LEGO, the company, go to jail. Jango Fett's Slave 1. Well, it looks significantly better than Boba Fett's from 1999, so 2 thumbs up from me. Republic gunship, for a first attempt at a gunship, this absolutely slaps. I would almost take this over the more recent one that came out, that was dark red mostly. Because this one has the little gun bubbles, and other gun bubbles, and identical boys, and weird blue dudes. Whoa. Why are we talking about Balloons Tower Defense 5? I mean, I'm okay with it. As long as you're not shouting threats at each other, anything's an improvement. This Yoda doesn't look great, but he looks way better than creepy Darth Maul. And I can respect it. This is a certain style, It's not my style, but for the style, it looks good. If a bit creepy. Final Duel 1. Yep. Okay. I mean, this set was probably sold for like less than $10 at the time, so this absolutely slaps. I would buy this for $10 today. Final Duel 2. Just a normal looking man. And a funky stormtrooper who looks like he's tripping out. All of these tiny sets from 2002 are really good. Ooh, I really like this one. You just get the door of a spaceship. If you get multiple of this set, you can have a bunch of doors and a bunch of droids and a bunch of Liam Neeson. R2 is looking a little hollow, but I still like him better than the C-3PO of 2001 or 0. I forget. 2002 is good. 2002 is a good year for LEGO Star Wars compared to the previous 3. Even the Technic guys all look pretty decent, with the exception of R2, who's looking a little questionable. Look at all this chrome on the Naboo Starfighter. That's awesome. I don't even care that no one can sit inside. The only person you would ever need to sit inside is a generic pilot or Anakin. So, if it's a generic pilot, you can just pretend he's there. And if it's Anakin, whatever. Use your imagination. It's LEGO. 2003. I don't know why C-3PO is so tan, but this is a cool set. I like getting the door with the little eyeball. And Bib Fortuna, that guy, that's a rare one. That would be SSR if this was a gacha game. Droideka classic design is better, but then again, maybe someday third company can make custom Droideka. Yeah, I don't love the third party companies. I wish LEGO, I feel like LEGO can do it. We've got so many parts these days. LEGO can make a solid minifigure scale Droideka. As we've seen from the most recent Droideka set that was revealed officially either today or yesterday or something. They haven't done it. They haven't done it yet. The new tiny Droideka that comes with that big Droideka looks probably worse than any other Droideka I've seen. I really dislike it. But I think they can do it. Someone can. Someone at the LEGO company is capable. 2003 is continuing the trend of having really good, small, cheap sets. This set's cool, too. Is this the Count Dooku thingy, or is this just a generic Geonosian thingy? Either way, it looks good. And this cannon is giving me flashbacks to that video I posted of playing Battlefront with Travis. Check that out if you like Battlefront and Star Wars. The TIE Bomber, okay, this one has a lot of the problems that I didn't love about the 2000 sets, where it just looks so boxy, so Minecrafty. I wish it was a little more, even, I know they didn't have as many parts back in the day, but it needed more bricks and plates to sort of give that circular shape as opposed to box. And more detail on the side. Now this, though, this is an example of what I would call a perfect classic set. This is a full play set. You get good guys, you get bad guys, you get neutral guys. Like this spider, he's not picking a fight with anybody. He's just trying to live his life. Gonk Droid, I don't even know why he's here. But I love him. And this set's cool. Is Jabba a little scary? Yes, but that's fine. If this were released as a Bionicle set, it would be one of the coolest Bionicle sets of the time. This is great. I want these giant wheels. The Droideka total grunt sound, if they can make them into proper ball mode. But large set's pretty decent. Yeah. Yeah, the large set is pretty decent. I like it. I just don't like the small one. Oh, well, that ATTE went by too fast, but I liked it. I like this too. This looks like it could be a 2013 or 14 set. It's that good. Speeder bike's a little old school, but everything else about it's very nice. Looks like it's straight out of the movie. Oh, another little mini set. The Mini TIE Advanced and the Mini X-Wing. The Mini TIE Advanced looks way better than the minifigure scale one of this time. X-Wing looks about as good. Oh, and Mini Pod Racers too. You know I love me some Pod Racers. And it uses clear instead of tan, which is nice. Mini Snowspeeder is adorable. ATST, probably too big, but still looks good. So many mini sets. And they all look great. This looks better than the big Millennium Falcon of the time. But to be fair, the standards were not high. We'll get some much better Millennium Falcons coming up. AT-AT. This one, that's one of the weaker ones. The AT-AT's not looking great. It's looking very boxy at the top, very Technic at the bottom. That sounds like the weirdest version of something business in the front, party in the back, or whatever. Whoa, you looking boxy in the front, Technic in the back. That's an insult, if anything. Gunship is looking fine. This is looking better than the big set because the colors are more accurate. And here's the Cloud City set. I can't believe in 2003 they decided that Lando needed to not be yellow and everyone else is. That's such a weird choice. How is the Emperor yellow and Lando's not? We don't love that, but we do love the rest of this set. Does it look not great on display? Yeah. Not a good display set. But for play, if you're a kid, which is probably most people buying this were kids at the time, you got a great play set here. All the major scenes of the Cloud City era, they're here in a single set, back to back. Giant Rebel Snowspeeder, I think this is pretty unnecessary, but it does look good for what it is. And now we're on to 2004. I don't think that 2003 surpassed 2002 for me. 2002 is still my favorite year for sets. Let's see if 2004 can beat it. The mini sets are not doing a lot for me so far. They're fine. Not bad, they're just fine. You can see what I mean about what I said with the Snowspeeder earlier. This looks almost identical to the 1991 Snowspeeder, except it's white instead of gray, which I think is great. Good improvement. I guess it depends on what scene from the movie you're looking at, but I always thought the Snowspeeders looked closer to white than gray. And I also just think that when it comes to Lego, this is more aesthetically pleasing. The other one was too gray. It felt monochromatic and boring. This set's awesome. I love any set that gives you a bit of environment plus a bit of vehicle, and this does a good balance of both. And lots of good minifigures spread throughout. Same with this one. You get a hut and an X-Wing. If they were to make a modern set, it would either cost way too much or be just one of these two things. This Millennium Falcon is somehow an improvement over the last one, but it still looks way too clunky and thrown together for my taste. I don't love it. It's got that sort of pie design going on that the modern ones have, although the modern ones are done better. But just so many studs and so much unnecessary tan. I don't know why they were obsessed with tan. This is just the same X-Wing from before, but I think these are all the same sets from before, but they broke them up. It's a weird choice. This is the third time we've seen this set. Lego, what are you doing? Go to jail. Go to jail right now. Okay, this is cool, though. This is cool. I don't even know what that is. What kind of TIE fighter is that? I want a new version of this. Just getting 4 different TIE fighter designs, or no, these 2 are the same, but still. 4 different TIE fighters, all in one set. That's dope. Big ol' Y-Wing. I've never been a huge fan of the UCS style builds, personally, just because I like my stuff to be minifig scale, but for a UCS Y-Wing, this looks really good, especially for 2004. Mini Jedi Starfighter, that looks cool. That also looks cool. 2004 definitely did not surpass whatever I said was the best. 2002. Yeah, 2002 still reigns supreme. But we're starting off with some good ones in 2005. All of these sets so far are great. That's a good little play set for cheap. That's an awesome representation of that droid ship. That's pretty much as good as the one that I got, which I think my set that I own of that was probably like 2012 or something, 2013. I own this set. I don't think this looks very good, but I do love Grievous's wheel bike. I always thought it was funny that the feet of his bike are 4 jackhammers. That's crazy. Whoever did that, they were on a different level. This is a good set too. I don't think this looks great, but it is definitely an improvement on the brown one from 1999. Design-wise, not color-wise. Color-wise, they're both fine. This was a really cool play set. I don't know how I feel about being able to control them from a distance with a stick, but it was fun for kids, I'm sure. This is a great play set. You can reenact a small portion of the Battle of Kashyyyk, which I feel like that's one of the most fun things to do if you're a young kid into Star Wars with Lego, is just take a bunch of your Lego sets and have an actual, quote, Star War on your floor or on a table. That looks great for 2005. This looks pretty solid too. This one probably has too many studs for a modern set, but otherwise, this looks great too. 2005, they really found their stride. Okay, this is just the same set that we've been seeing. They released it again, but by itself. We're seeing the flesh tones come in now, which is good. More accurate to the movie. Bazooka Boys? What are they doing? Where were they in the movie? Who's giving these guys bazookas when they can't even hit their shots? This is a good set, though. This does look like a nice improvement over the past one. Just a little bit, though. Not a huge improvement. Wow, this one's blurry. It looks like a good set, though. They just slapped other sets together. But it gives you a whole space battle right out of the box, which is awesome. The Death Star 2, I think this might be my favorite Death Star that LEGO has made. I know people love the more open one, the Death Star 1, as a playset, but as a display set, I think this one takes the cake. Look at all the greebling on the side. That's amazing. This set's a classic. Does it have too much blockiness and random colors that look kind of pixelated? Yes. But as a playset, it's amazing. And as a display set, it's almost where you would want it for this time. So I think this is a win overall. Why did that one set go away so fast? No, hey, go back. I own this set, and I think it's great. That's all I wanted to say. I don't think I needed to go back for that. This set's good too. This set's good too. So far, update, 2005 is now peak year for Star Wars. Thus far. Let's see if 2006 can beat it. Oh my goodness, this B-Wing is a gigantic improvement over the 2002 or 2001 one. It's night and day. This one's a huge improvement over the last Bounty Hunter Starship set we got too, Jango Fett's one. Oh, wow. Okay, 2006. They're taking the cake. 2006 is definitely the new peak year for Star Wars. I mean, look at this. This could be released as a set today, and I would love it. I think the balance of plates to studs and the general level of detail across the board here is perfect. Love it. This is solid too. I love that you can fit the figures in there and actually see them looking out. And you get an escape pod. I don't know why. Oh, it just says... I was like, why is this set called Book 1? It's the instruction manual. This X-Wing's a huge improvement over any of the previous ones too. I own this exact set and I like it. The newer X-Wings are miles above this, but this is the first X-Wing that really looks like it's leaning into those modern design principles. That's a re-release. We've seen this one. This one I still think is unnecessary, but it looks cool. This one, wow, that's super bulky. That's very intimidating. I like the design of this. This is one of my favorite UCS Star Wars sets, I think. That just looks dope. I love this set. If you want droids, oh man, you're getting a lot of them. And you get a transport for them that can easily carry them because all you have to do is just stand them up on the back. Plus a stap. That's good stuff. And this is a perfect companion piece to it. 4 clones. This is like Star Wars Battlefront in a couple of boxes, which I would love to have as a kid. And speaking of love to have, I did have both of these. And I did love them. Also, in my headcanon, this guy right here is Commander Bly. I know he's probably not supposed to be, but I really love Commander Bly, and I want to say that's him. If LEGO bring back 327 Clone Trooper yellow marking, I do want them to bring that back. I specifically want Commander Bly. I need him in my life. I think I own this set too. It doesn't look as good as I remembered it looking. It looks very, looks kind of awkward. It's kind of giving old man's face. But it definitely is an improvement over the previous minifigure scale one, which had way too many off colors. This set's great too. So far, like, I've owned every 2007 set. My parents must have been going crazy back in 2007. They were just like, take them all. Yeah, you can have every one. How did they have money? Okay, I didn't have this one. Here we go. It looks awesome, though. I had this one. Okay, 2007 slaps. This. Oh, man. I'm sure every LEGO fan has a handful of sets that they regret not getting at the time. This is that set for me. I adore this set, but I never got it. I considered it, but ended up getting a clone walker thing instead. And I wish I would have got this. This looks amazing. If they release this set today, over 10 years later, it would be great. The 2007 Imperial Shuttle commercial, LEGO mistakenly put Imperial Shock Trooper until later 2015 Battlefront Shock Trooper. Huh. Oh, I forgot they made, I didn't realize they made this set. When I think of Darth Maul's, whatever this is called, I think of the super recent sets and the super old sets. I forgot about this one. I think this one might be my favorite, even though it's very simplistic. Might be a little fragile around the back. It looks good. And look at this. This is insane. What if this showed up in actual Star Wars? That would be wild. But it looks so cool. This set's a classic too, especially if you've played the complete saga. It's iconic. It's very well done. 2007, I think I'm going to have to say it. It's the new best year for LEGO Star Wars. For a while, we had to wait for the new best year to come around, but now every single year is better than the last. And look at this absolute beast. MTT, record numbers for B1 battle droids. People are getting bored of the 1999 design. People switch to third parties. I like the battle droid design, actually. Like, I don't know. I always enjoy LEGO to strike a balance between realism and toy factor, because they are a toy. You know, they're primarily targeted at kids, or at least that's what they used to be. Now it's a lot of adults welcome stuff. But I like for it to strike a good balance between realism and toy. And I think the old original droid design that we're still getting does that perfectly. And I think these 2007 sets, for the most part, do that pretty well also. Maybe more studs than I would want on some of them. A little bit more blocky for some sets, but overall, it's good. Because of arms cracking. Interesting. I don't think I ever had that problem. Okay, this set's a classic too. This is like one of the original Battle Pack sets, and it does a really great job. In fact, people love that set so much they re-released it later. This set, I think, is even better because the vehicle itself looks more polished, more finished. The figures are maybe not as interesting, and they're all identical, but I don't take too much issue with that. We're getting into some Clone Wars stuff now. And this is a solid Clone Wars set. It looks good. This one's even better, though. This is another example of a set that I think strikes a good balance between toy factor, not too many pieces used to the point where you're paying ridiculous prices, but still a good amount of detail. This is the set that I bought instead of getting the blue Obi-Wan Hyperdrive set. And I wish I would have got the blue Obi-Wan Hyperdrive set. I don't know why I chose this one. Today, I find this to be far less appealing visually than the other one. And minifigure-wise, too. I bet tons of LEGO fans and Star Wars fans wish that they would re-release this. Or in a modern version, not re-release. Just make a new, updated version. That looks great. I always loved that Magna Guard set. This was another classic. All of these look fine too. I don't know if I like these sets quite as much as the 2007 ones, with the exception of this. I think this is perfect. But overall, I think 2007 might have slightly more appealing designs to me. I have to go back and flip through a little bit. It's close. It's close. It could go either way. 2007, 2008, they're both super solid years for LEGO Star Wars. Why is this so blurry? What happened? Oh, the old buildable Grievous. I completely forgot about this dude. I remember the CCBS LEGO Bionicle style Grievous, but this guy was the original, and he looks pretty great for what he is. I was never a huge fan of this set. I know that's going to be controversial, but to me, this does not strike a good balance between looking like the source material and being a good toy. It's too toyish for me. When you're a kid, you probably don't care. I would have loved to have this as a kid, don't get me wrong, but just my personal taste now, I'd want to see a little bit more of it covered up so it looks more like the Death Star. Okay, yeah, 2008, I think I like just a tiny bit less than 2007 sets. But it's very close. I'd say 2007 is still peak Star Wars for me. But let's see if something can beat it. 2009. So far, both sets I've seen, very good. This, if you look at the design of this Starfighter specifically, I think this is a perfect, 100% perfect example of a good balance between studs, plates, detail, function, everything. That's a perfect balance. And I also love the balance between good and evil in this set, with Ahsoka and a droid and a starfighter versus 2 buzz droids and a droid fighter. Good stuff. You were born 2009, October 11th. Well, that means, I wonder if a Lego set came out on that day. Did a Lego set release on October 11, 2009? Hold up. I'm doing some research. I am doing research and I am confused. I am officially confused and I don't know what's going on. It's too hard for me to look up, but I'll look it up later. Anyway, I always wanted this set too. This is one of my most wanted sets. I don't know why. I love this pirate tank thing. It's a very interesting design. This is a really good playset too. A bit too many studs in this area, and a bit too flat in this area with nothing on it, but still very good. This, to this day, is the only Millennium Falcon set I own. I never bothered asking my parents for one of the bigger ones because I was like, if I get this, I'm never getting something else, dude. Like, I'm not getting something else for a long time. And that's just not worth it. I'd rather just slap Han Solo in this tiny one and call it a day. Okay, here's a set that I think leans too far into the toy factor and not enough into good detail. This one looks kind of goofy. The minifigures are great though. This does a better job. Big old boy. I remember getting that set and being excited about it. Something about this set I remember being super frustrating to build. Something about like the bottom, when I tried to build the bottom of it, it just kept breaking. And I was like, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? Maybe it could have been me and not Lego, but I feel like things were a bit more fragile back in that day. Here's another one of my favorite sets, although now, being a bit more judgmental, I do think they could have struck a better balance between, I should say struck a better balance between tiles and studs. There's a whole lot of studs on the wings. I don't think they would do that today. That's a weird version of Grievous' Starfighter. This set was always bizarre too. I don't love it, but that might be the fault of the actual ship as opposed to what Lego did. This set looked cool to me. I wish I would have got this one back in the day too. I love the color yellow. If you can't tell by my hair and half of the logo of the channel. And this is just a very cool looking Y-Wing. I like the whole armored up design. It's very smooth. Okay, here, I gotta call this one out specifically. I think this might be one of the best Lego Star Wars sets of all time. You get tons of vehicles to play with, a catapult to play with, and an entire building with a complete interior. You can't ask for better than that. And I don't think the price was too absurd. If we would have got something like this today, it would have been bigger, more detailed, and cost like $200+, which is not ideal if you're a kid who can only get sets if your parents are willing to buy them for you, or if you're saving up money from an allowance or something. All these sets look pretty decent. Oh, this one's superb. This is another great one. I have almost no complaints about it whatsoever. I wish that some of these figures were more updated. Like, for example, Antilles and R2-D2 look more modern than the other three figures do, and I wish they had a more consistent style across the board. I do like, though, that back during this era, LEGO didn't feel the need to constantly be releasing lots of different versions of the same figure for the sake of collectability. I like that you could get the same Leia figure or the same Rebel Trooper guy in a bunch of different sets, and not have to feel like you have to buy every set to get every figure. That's cool. I had this set too. I don't know why, but I did. Not sure how I got it. That's a funny speeder bike right there. Hello, Courtney Jones. We're looking at Star Wars Legos. I'm sure that's obvious, but I said it anyway. 2009 is an interesting year. There's a lot of really good Star Wars sets, but there's also some misses. So I think I'm going to call 2007 still my favorite thus far. Now we're going on to 2010. And we're starting off with some okay sets. I think that the speeder's really good. I think the rest of it is a little lacking. It kind of feels like extra parts. Let's put them somewhere. This set's cool though. I like this one. And this minifigure is wild. I don't think we're ever getting another version of that man. This is the set I was talking about. It does, admittedly, now that I see it, look noticeably better than the last one, but the last one I think was perfectly respectable in every way. I'd be happy to have either of them. This set's cool. I don't know if this is a real TIE Fighter design or if they made this one up. Something's telling me they made it up, but I wish it was real, because that looks cooler than most any other TIE Fighter I've seen. And this is great too. It's giving 2009 vibes though. It's a lot of good, but a little bit of mixed in there. Whereas I feel like 2007 was just super solid across the board. Whoa, Grievous, his ship got an upgrade. It's bigger, it's better. And Grievous himself is better. I also love that this droid uses a normal Lego piece as a head. This set was kind of weird though. I never loved the design of this ship, and I don't love the design of this set. I do love the design of this. This is yet another improvement on the Slave 1 design. I don't even remember this set. Like a souped up clone turbo tank. This is awesome. I don't know if I've ever seen this. Yeah, I love this set. That might make up for some of the things I don't like about the other ones. Oh, and this is another one of my favorite sets of all time. I don't know what it is, but this vehicle and the fact that you get 5 figures in the set, all of which are interesting, minus this guy, that seems like a really good deal. Goodbye, Lyle Simon. I hope you have a great day in a galaxy far, far away. I was paid to say that. Let's see. I have a hard time commenting on the really small ones. Ooh, okay. Hey, see this silver guy? I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this, but this was like a special promo. He's not real silver. He's just chrome. And I own this, and this is probably the most valuable minifigure I have. Is it that valuable? No, but it's noticeably more so than most minifigures I own. I always thought this set was weird because I wondered why Mace Windu's Starfighter was white with a little bit of green and red and tan. That's not Lego's doing. That's Star Wars itself. I'm just curious why that decision was made. I own this set, and for some reason I think this thing's very cool. I like that it feels very mechanical. This might be a bit of a downgrade over the last Naboo Starfighter, honestly. Yes, it can fit a dude in it, but it just doesn't look as good. And the light gray compared to the old chrome? Nah. Why was that droideka so big? Oh my gosh, dude. If the Jedi ran into this, it would be over. This is another good playset. It doesn't look great as display-wise, but playset-wise, it's perfect. 2007 is still taking the cake for my favorite year, though. I'm curious to see if any year will ever surpass it. I really thought that my favorite year was going to be around 2010 or 11 or 12. But they're not quite meeting the level that I think 2007 was at. 2007 had too many bangers. This is a good update of the Geonosian ship, though. I like this. I like that it uses more of that burnt orange color. And Ki-Adi-Mundi. You love to see him and his weird head. Oh, we got another downgrade of Darth Maul's vehicle. You hate to see it. Is it bigger? Yes. Does it look worse? Also, yes. Panaka looks like me when I first saw this set. A little bit disappointed. Oh, here's the opposite, though. This looks like a vast improvement on the previous pod racers of these types. And you get little green boy, whatever his name is. Tommy. That's not his name, but it should be. This looks pretty decent as well. I'm not loving it, though. This is the best Millennium Falcon to date by far, but I still think it could be better for sure. Still a lot of studs, very monochromatic, which it's hard to get around that for a Millennium Falcon, but I would still like to see a bit more detail and plating. I'm surprised they made a tiny version of this. I don't feel like that one would sell as well. Why does this one look so weird? Why did they use renders? What's going on? Okay, 2012. I'm going to be honest, I don't think this year is going to surpass 2007 either. So far, the detail is looking a little questionable. I feel like they kind of backtracked. 2007 to 2009 had that perfect mix of toy factor and detail that I was talking about. And now they feel like they're leaning a bit more into toy factor and making them not look quite as good. Except for this set, which does look better than any other TIE Fighter previously. X-Wing looks really good too. Doesn't look too much better than the 2006 version, but still pretty solid. I owned this set and I like this set. I don't own this, but I wish I did because it looks good. Eggman? Hold up. Who's Eggman? Also, what was that set? Hold up. Not the Desert Skiff. The Desert Skiff is fine. I like the way that looks. In fact, the Desert Skiff is another good example of what I'm talking about when I say good mix between detail and toy factor and all that. This looks perfect to me. This is what I would like Lego Star Wars sets to look like, ideally, because I feel like they're not using too much budget to make it look super detailed, so we don't have to pay super high prices, but it also looks detailed enough to where you're proud to display it on your shelf, and you can play with it if you're a kid or you just want to play with it. You don't, whatever age you are, you can still play with it. What is this set? What is that? What is this? What is any of this? This is very bizarre. And who is this guy? This Gungan sub is surprisingly not as huge of an improvement as I thought it would be over the 1999 version. It definitely is an improvement, but I remembered it looking better, and I can't put my finger on why I'm a little disappointed by it. This Queen Amidala figure, though, is amazing. I'd be impressed if Lego released another figure like this today, with that specific dress piece. This set's another good example of a perfect set, looks-wise. That looks incredible. The shape is great. Our first advent calendar popped up in 2012. Wait, we got the, is this the Malevolence or something like that? I'm not good at Clone Wars stuff, I'm sorry. I didn't remember us getting this. This looks great. I did not know this set existed. This was a good set too. I wish we could see it from the front, but this is a really good play set of Jabba's Palace, and you get so many figures. It's impressive. I owned this set. I don't love it looks-wise, but it's very sizable. You get a lot of bang for your buck when you buy this. And I always thought these figures were cool. One of the few times we've gotten this set, it's cool to see that they included all 4 Jedi that came to arrest him, plus Anakin. And this vehicle that you almost never see talked about. I like this one. It's a little under-detailed. Oh, the Heroica statuette dudes are awesome, though. I wish I had those. I'm a huge Heroica fan. Possibly the biggest. These sets were always kind of fun. I mainly liked getting them for the planets themselves. Not too much to say about them, though. They were just cool to get those planet pieces. I remember someone saying when we looked at the more recent R2-D2, like a month and a half ago in a stream, that the old R2-D2, the old buildable one, didn't look very good at all, or looked noticeably worse. I actually think this looks really good. Yeah, I guess it's kind of blocky around the top, a little Minecrafty, but I don't mind it. I think this looks great. UCS B-Wing. That's interesting. I think I prefer the minifigure scale one. This one feels a little bit more mechanical in a unflattering way. Darth Maul on the top of the art for the boxes. That's interesting. Surprising choice. And then we just straight up get Darth Maul. That's a cool Darth Maul figure. And TC-14. One of the smallest Boba Fett starships you can get. What is this art? Okay, here we go. Here's another one of my absolute favorite LEGO Star Wars sets of all time. It's a great play set. Both of my favorite ones so far are indoor sets, which is interesting. I don't think this is as good as the other one just because it doesn't look as good. The other one was better for display and play. It gave you more stuff to work with. But, yeah, this is awesome if you can get your hands on it. And if you were willing to pay over $100 for it. I forget how much it went for. It might have been $200. You get so many Ewoks, though. UCS X-Wing, I think, is unnecessary and a bit too chunky. I don't love it. I'm not even sure what that's supposed to be. They did a lot more mini sets than I realized they did. Okay, these... This might be a hot take. I actually think these droidekas are pretty good. I know a lot of people seem to always have a problem with the droideka designs. And I agree. None of them are perfect. They're all a little bit too big, but I think this design was probably one of the closer ones they did. It can't roll up into a ball, though, very well, so I guess that is a demerit against it. This is a good set, though. I like this set, too. These are both really good battle packs, and I wish I had them. What on earth is that? Do they make big droidekas? Is that a thing? Droidekas can just decide to be big, and then they are? That's crazy. That thing looks insane. I think I own this set, too, and I don't remember this thing at all. It's weird. A-Wing looks perfect. Whatever this thing is looks pretty great, too. This is an interesting set. I always wished I owned this one. Grimorian Guard looks good. Big man looking just like he should. More planet sets. Coruscant was cool. This is one of the more unnecessary ones. If I was collecting all of the Star Wars planets, I don't think I would go for this set for the sake of asteroid field. Nah. I'm good. I like the way they've depicted Hoth with a little bit of blue, not just white. Endor. They made Endor light blue? I don't know about that one. I like the update to the Clone Wars Obi-Wan. Looks slightly less creepy, but still a little bit off. The vehicles are good. Probably oversized, but once again strikes that perfect balance between detail and toy factor that I love. So does this one. Let me look back at some of the other 2013 sets. 2013 might finally be the year that I say is better than 2007. I think we're going to do it. All the sets are looking pretty solid. Unless there comes a set that's just kind of trash. No, all of these are good. Oh. Okay, you know what? This one's bad. This was Lego's original design, I think. It's not based on anything else from the movies. And man, I do not like this. I think this looks extremely ugly. You can let me know in the chat if you disagree, but I always heavily dislike this set. Which is a shame because every other 2013 set really slaps. This one too. And this is a great update of the gunship. You get crazy weird Darth Maul. I don't know what this set is, but it's very interesting. And I can appreciate it. You know what? I think I will at least say that 2013 in my mind is on par with 2007. They're both really good. Those 2 years are peak Star Wars for me. Why'd they make so many tiny versions of that bad ship? What is this? You can get a set with just a bunch of blue studs on panels? That's crazy. So many tiny things, dude. I don't want to see the tiny ones. The micro fighters, okay. 2014 was the beginning of the micro fighters. If you want a minifigure that's cool, if you want a really cheap way to get some Star Wars vehicles, it's cool. But overall, I don't love them value-wise. And I think all these sets are fine. Lego's never made a version of this thing that I thought looked great. They made a more recent one. This one probably looks a little better to me than the 2013 one did. That set was... I don't remember this set at all, but I like this one. This had like a toy factor to it, didn't it? That's why they included these stands. They wanted you to try to knock over the things. That's a cool idea. I appreciate that. That's probably my favorite set I've seen thus far for 2014. This one's really good too. Looks like as perfect of an update as you can do to a set from 2006 without making it ridiculously overpriced. Grievous's wheel bike is dope too. And it doesn't even have jackhammers for feet. I'm really liking all of these sets so far. The microfighters, everything else from this year, pretty perfect. This set looks a bit too mechanical for me, but that's just the fault of the machine itself, not anything else. And they use that Droideka design that I like too. This, I wish we got more of this vehicle. This is a vehicle design that stands out in the world of Star Wars. It's not much like it. You get the tiny ghost. 2013, 2014 might be peak. I don't like this B-Wing though. All of these Rebel sets, I never got into Rebels, but the Rebel sets themselves do look good. And I think most of the sets from this year do look solid. Maybe not as solid as 2013. So I'll still say 2013 is better. But I would not be disappointed with any of these. Darth Revan, interesting. Got more mini sets. I'm going to skip past the mini sets just so that we don't waste too much time. Because I need to be going through these faster than I am. More microfighters. Yeah, they're still fine. I don't have too much to say about the microfighters either. They just are what they are. I think these are some of the better looking ones. They got a little bad. That one's bad. That's an interesting battle pack. I don't remember these. Gunmetal Gray Stormtroopers is cool. So far, 2015 is looking like a downgrade, though, from 2013 and 2014. Detail's just not as much where I want it. Even that one I don't love as much. This set's good. This one, they really knocked it out of the park. I don't think I own this set, but I own something similar. And I really like what they did with this. Oh, and Anakin's souped up starfighter. Yeah, that's cool. I think they did a great job depicting this. This Asajj Ventress figure is also nice. I like it way better than the creepy Clone Wars one that I have. I think I own that set. I think I own this one too. I'm not a huge fan of this set specifically just because I don't love how oversized the speeder bikes are, but they don't look terrible. This is a nice improvement over the previous one. This is a really good example of leveling up a set from the old days. And so many more interesting figures too. This is a good improvement on the Naboo Starfighter. Still not chrome, but we can't really ask for that. It's got the good Droideka design. This is mostly nice. I think it's a little too much in the stud department in some areas. And a little bit awkward to display, but I like the figures and I like the overall shape. I forgot they made a giant TIE fighter. it's too angular to me in the center. I like the wings, although I really don't think it needs to be this big, especially for this kind of design. It just feels like you're making it big for the sake of being big at this point. And I don't like when sets are big just for the sake of being big. That's just me, though. I still don't look like they really did not, ever since that one back in 2007, I think, all of the Darth Maul, whatever this ship is called, designs have been not great. It's weird. It seems like it's not that crazy of a design and they would be able to get it right. But they all look clunky and awkward to me. And now we're getting into the Disney stuff. Okay. I think this looks fine for what it is. A little awkward that it cuts off the roundness towards the top. That's a good TIE fighter, good X-Wing. This was the beginning of X-Wings becoming really polished. X-Wings designs have always been just kind of okay to good up until now. And this is by far the best Millennium Falcon we've gotten so far. Is it based on The Force Awakens? Yeah, which is a little unfortunate, but other than that, I think this looks better than the other ones. More Rebel stuff. This set never appealed to me just because I don't like having the mini TIE fighters be next to a minifig scale type thing. I know it's not minifig scale, but it's made for the minifigures to ride in. So it feels weird to have a set for minifigures include obviously tiny TIE fighters. Got the buildable dudes. I don't have too much of an opinion on them. I don't love them. They're fine. The Grievous one's cool. I think the Grievous one works the best. Overall, though, 2015, a little bit of a mixed bag. 2013 still stands out as my favorite year, I think, along with 2007. Skipping around a little bit because we're getting a lot of the small stuff again. And I just don't have too much to say, so I don't want to just sit in silence. These sets are all fine. I think some of these were based on Battlefront specifically, which is cool. I love that, but none of them are wowing me. This was a good update of that old set that I had from way back. And I love that the interior, you can actually sit people down. The old one, you kind of just threw them in the pod. It said, there you go. Hang out. Do what you will. And getting Jawas as well, that's a nice inclusion. I wish this set, I know that they made it as tall as it is so that they could have a function where he dips down into the floor. But I kind of wish that it was shorter and had a full circular base, just so it looked a little less awkward and cut off. Or at least make it a little more symmetrical. To me, this just feels like a chunk of a environment, which I don't like. I'd rather have a more complete looking structure. This set's fine. I think older sets, cheaper sets did it better. This set was insanely overpriced. This one's fine. I always liked this one for some reason. I guess I just like that it kind of gave train vibes, even though it's a speeder bike, because you had these two cargo boxes you could carry. And this guy was weird. That's a weird figure. But I like it. Why is everyone standing on dishes? Is that just what they did for the pictures at this time? Feels misleading. Oh, this set. This set is bad, dude. If anyone in the chat or in the comments wants to tell me that this set is good, please tell me why. Because I despise this set and everything it stands for. No, okay. These ones are good. 2016 is even more of a mixed bag than 2015 is. I think some of the sets look great. I think others are kind of bad. This ATST, though, by far the best ATST design we've seen. This looks wonderful. This one's odd. I always thought this was an odd design. These are all pretty decent. I really like this souped up kind of campy ATTE. Is that what this is? I don't remember the name of it. I apologize. What is this? And then they re-released this with updated figures, which is okay. I wish they updated the actual Death Star more. Yeah. To me, this feels a little bit like a sin. I know they wanted to keep this set in circulation since people loved it so much, but I wish they would have done more to elevate the design as a whole, rather than just updating the minifigures. Just a dude? You could get just a dude at this time? Okay, we're skipping to 2017. Skipping past some of the small stuff again. The microfighters are still fine. Really don't care for them. Okay, now the actual 2017 sets, the bigger ones. Okay, I was about to say they're looking good, but this is another mixed bag. Because I don't love this at all. This feels very awkward to me. As a playset, it works well. As a display set, it looks like it was a display set and then you took part of it apart. But that's just how it was sold, and I don't love that. This looks really good, though. This looks very finished, polished all the way around. This also looks like a really good playset. The problem is I think it was extremely expensive, especially for what it is, and that's not cool. I do like, though, this is a very odd set in the world of LEGO Star Wars. You don't see sets that are just mostly flat ground and environment, and that's what this is. Y-Wing looks great. Best Luke's Landspeeder we've seen. Pretty good one of these too. Most of these sets look really good. There's just one here and there, like this one, that really fumbles the bag. I feel like most of the designers around this time really found their footing and were putting out super high quality stuff. But this one's very awkward. I don't like it much at all. I like this though. That one's fine. Same with that. And this would be a cool playset, I think, if it was a bit smaller and had multiple of these hallways and sections. It's just a bit too little of that environment to accurately play out things that happened in the movie. This is a very downscaled version of this type of tank, but for a downscaled version, I like it. Also, getting a Leia Sakura, that's cool. This is a nice update to that original set. I think I own that one. This is weird, though. The Freemaker Adventures did not... I did not like any of the designs from that. I thought they all looked clunky and unfinished. Which is a shame, because like the LEGO designers could have made anything theoretically. It seems like that's where they really would have leaned into cool looking, sleek designs, but they didn't. They made them look especially unfinished. This was super weird too. It still looks better than most of the other sets, but man, it's a odd design. This BB-8's got a lot of studs on it. I don't love that. These are fine for what they are. Although I remember, it seems like Jang Bricks, who is the main reviewer I like watching for LEGO sets, he had some sort of an issue with this, but I don't remember what it was. Something design-wise, not aesthetically, but in terms of how it played and operated. think I actually like the old blue Obi-Wan hyperdrive ring better than this one. The old one looked more complete and more proportionate. This is the best Millennium Falcon by far, but it's also the most expensive, so do with that what you will. Sand Speeder was really cool to get. They should not have done human figures. Those always look weird. Yeah, stick to the helmeted guys. Rey, no. No, do not do Rey like this. Getting into 2018. That's a nice BB-8. That looks better than the big old BB-8 we saw before. Who is this yellow figure? A Kessel mine worker. I don't think I've ever seen this. I wish I owned this figure. It's just so out there, so different. A 2-in-1 set? What is this? Hold up. This vehicle looks very bizarre to me. This one's fine. I like this set. I don't like this one. These are both fine. I don't love either one, but they're both okay. UCS Y-Wing. Good for what it is, but I think the last minifigure scale Y-Wing looked just as good, if not better. So. And I think the last Resistance Bomber looked better than this too, which is bizarre, because they made one the previous year. More Microfighters. Then we have some repeats of the sets we've already seen. That was part of the 2-pack. Rest in peace. What is this? I'm not familiar with this vehicle, but it looks fine. That's the problem with some of the more modern sets. I feel like some sets like this just look fine and not good. It really does feel like it's almost there, but they stopped short. This set's okay too. I wish the hut was a little bit smaller and better detailed, or I don't know. I'm not completely sold on the design. I despise this, but that's more just a result of the movie making this a thing. This vehicle I don't love either. I think we may be past the heyday of Lego Star Wars in my mind. I don't know why we're seeing this again. This set's good though. Just a little chunk of Mos Eisley. Mos Eisley, I should say. Still don't like that. Oh, this Yoda's hut was bad. Why was it so bad? Why does it look so weird? No, I'm not a fan of that at all. This speeder design was always super bizarre, but I kind of liked it because it felt very avant-garde. Very anti-symmetry. Kind of feels Art Deco, art pop. This, on the other hand, feels like a pile of trash. This feels like the bad version of the previous thing. This is a good TIE fighter. This is not my favorite Millennium Falcon I've ever seen. The gaps are extreme, and that's never good. Good update on the Anakin Starfighter. These speeder bikes are cool, probably too big. Snoke's throne room I remember being insanely expensive. The train's cool, but I wish it was smaller so we could have more cars. I think having just one train car with this doesn't really get the scene across from the movie. By far the best X-Wing we've seen design-wise. for the original trilogy. This thing I always liked. Sandcrawler's good, but too many studs. This is one of the best Imperial shuttles we've seen. Or dropships. This Cloud City I almost love. I almost love it. I wish it was more cohesive design-wise. I wish it had more of a complete shape. But this really does feel like a nice deluxeification of that old classic Cloud City set that everyone seems to adore. And you get vehicles with it too, so you can have some play value outside of the space. A Porg, okay, yeah. That's fine. I don't know what they were thinking with that design for a young Chewbacca. That minifigure looks crazy. And these are super weird. I've never seen these before. I like Luke with the yellow hair. Another Porg. The tiny version of this looks better than the real one. Alright, 2019. Got more small sets that I'm going to skip past. What about the bigger ones? Still microfighter territory. Okay, here we go. So battle packs, they're looking good. I don't remember that. And I don't love it either. To me, this set right here is probably the coolest microfighter set. I like that you get two so they can kind of battle. And both designs feel distinct, but super well done. In fact, you could even, I kind of wish they sold them separately because this is super massable. You could get a bunch of these and have these act as stand-ins for the actual animals. That's a decent set, but a little small for what it is. I really like how polished this looks. These smooth pieces around the top do a lot to help it. That's a good update of this design too. Oh, but the 4+ set, that is not. Like, I feel like you could do a decent 4+ X-Wing that isn't too awkward, and this is not it. I remember this being strangely expensive for what it was too. I don't know how much it was, but it seemed like a bad deal. This, I wish they would have done a little bit more with. I don't think it was executed super well here, but I like the idea that it's like a 1 versus 1, you know, find your friend, find your brother, battle it out, try to shoot the target. It was a cool idea. I just wish the execution was a little bit better. They did it here as well. I really wish they would have played around with that some more. I think this executes it the best. The only thing about this, though, is they need to make sure, if they are including things like this, which is fine, they're also removable enough to where if you want to just have an AT, you can, and these things don't have to be connected to it all the time. What is this? What? I don't remember this at all. This is weird in a way that I like. It sort of tickles my brain a bit. This looks good. This also looks very good. I'm liking a lot of 2019 sets, but they're giving the same sort of issue that I took with 2018 and 2017, which is that some sets look amazing and others really fall flat for me. I think most of these, though, are standing the test of time. I don't love this Darth Vader castle, though. It's not terrible, but it feels a little under-detailed in places and good in others. It's not balanced appropriately. This is weird. This is a very weird set, but I like it. The colors don't feel Star Wars, but in a way that's very interesting and modern and new. These sets are all fine. Yeah, we're going back to like, some are really good, some are okay. Oh, here's the update of that classic set. For an update, though, I feel like they could have done it more justice. It looks a little disjointed. This part is curving down, and then you get another big curve with the canopy, but then very angular on the back. It doesn't feel like a cohesive design like the other one did. Who is this? That's one of the better little bust sets we've seen. Is this real? I don't even know who this is supposed to be. Like, Luke? Also Luke. Oh, it's just every version of Luke. Okay. Ending with Old Man Luke. What was that? What is this? This is just a pile of red. Okay, more microfighters I'm going to skip past. This is a decent battle pack. The little vehicle isn't doing a lot for me, but it's good. I think we have hit, though. I don't think we're ever going to surpass the greatness, in my mind, that was 2013 and 2007. Those 2 years are legendary, and 2014 almost is as good. I think that's peak Star Wars to me, was that era. Is that when I grew up with Star Wars? Yes, but I also grew up with 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. And I don't think those years were nearly as successful. I think 2013 and 2007 are particular standouts. And I own sets from all throughout that time period, so I'm not just being biased towards the sets I specifically own either. I feel like the design balance was best in those years. Everything felt well detailed, but also good for play and not too expensive. All of these sets, I'm not commenting on these too much because I feel like I'd be very redundant. It feels very similar to the 2019 stuff to me, design-wise. This one, though, is super cool. The only issue I take with it is that, man, is it so expensive. And I mean, it's big, you get a lot of stuff for it, but I would have rather seen a set like this that was half the size and more accessible for everyone. And maybe a little less detailed. This is the first instance we're seeing where I'm like, okay, I don't think we needed quite this much detail. Like, look how much it's tiled over on the top. A lot of pieces went into making sure everything was smooth around the top of all of these areas. And I don't think you needed to go that far. You could have used less pieces and made it look nice and balanced between studs and tiles, which is what I'm looking for in a set. This first draft of the Mandalorian ship is very well done. I'm impressed. I think they made a bigger one later on. We're going to see it coming up soon, I'm sure. I don't like the bigger one nearly as much. You can just get Yoda's lightsaber? 2021. Okay, we're getting close. Got some 4+ sets. More microfighters. Does microfighters not exist anymore? I'm surprised it doesn't, if it doesn't. That feels like the kind of thing that could have gone on forever. Because it always serves a purpose, even if they're not my favorite. This, I think, is one of the best sets that's released in the past 5 years. It's so small, it's so affordable, but it looks great for what it is. Same with this one. This is legendary. This only costs $50, I think, compared to, you know, other X-Wings went for somewhere between 60 to 90. So that's perfect. It looks super well balanced design-wise. Lots of good detail, but lots of playability. I've never been a huge fan of any of the little head designs. This is kind of cool, but still not what I would go for if I had money to throw around. This R2-D2 is a significant improvement over the last one, but I thought the last one did look good, so that's not a dig at the other one. UCS gunship, I don't think we needed. I don't like how squared off the cannons look around the top. I think the minifigure scale ones looked a lot better. I wish we would see more sets like this, but done a little more nicely. Like, the throne has a good level of detail, the back wall has a good level of detail, but this box is weird. The floor leaves something to be desired. Maybe I feel like I'm being a little bit too picky with that one, but yeah, all of these this year, 2021, they came out with a lot of more affordable versions of big sets. And they still look good, and I appreciate that. Oh, I said that, and then we got this. I said that, and then we got giant AT-AT. No thank you. Got a Bad Batch set. Some more Mandalorian stuff. It's all fine. 2022, okay. This video only goes up through 2023, so we're getting very close to the end now. I really like this battle pack. I don't like that it only comes with 3 dudes as opposed to 4, but I like the design of these. I like that it feels like all good stuff, no filler. Same with this. All good stuff, no filler. Nice weapon rack, nice little vehicle. I wish I had this figure because I want more yellow clones. A 3-in-1 of these 3? What a random assortment. It's interesting. I feel like I've said so many things that are interesting. I'm really using up my quota for that word. I almost forgot this existed. I don't love this one. I don't love this hallway set either. Anything that's just a little cutout of a hallway doesn't excite me as much as more complete structures or vehicles. I like things to feel complete no matter what they are. They don't have to actually be the full building or something, but they have to appear complete to an extent. The dioramas don't do a lot for me either. They're so expensive and they're pretty downscaled. More so than you'd want. This set's fine. I like that one well enough. This one, just not boring. No, it is boring. It's not interesting enough subject matter to make a set based on. You're really buying this just for the figures and that's it. This is a really good update to an old classic. This is one of the few 2022 sets I like decently well. Oh, this one I like even more though. This is what I mean by saying like something that looks very complete, just like structure-wise and detail-wise. I think this looks very, very complete and nice. Same with this. Everything in this set looks good to me. Advent calendar I'm not interested in. Clone, this little tank thing. Yep, I like this one. I think it's a little under-detailed in sections, but overall it's still good. And now 2023, the final year we get in this video. Starting off with some of the mini stuff and some of the promos. But then we're going straight into the more interesting stuff. Starting with this. This is a great battle pack. It's probably more expensive given that it came out in 2023, but just content-wise, all these clones look great, and this vehicle is very usable. It's not one of those filler vehicles that it seems like they just threw in there so that they could have something. It's well done. I really like this thing too. It's got an interesting design, and the introduction of that new color of black for the canopy is cool. This is super well done too. I'm liking all of the 2023 sets so far. I'm waiting for one to disappoint me. This one's a little disappointing. I'm not a huge fan of this, but it's not bad. The TIE vehicle looks good. And all the minifigures, of course, are great in 2023. Why is 2023 like this? I don't understand. Some more diorama sets. I'm skipping past them just because I don't love them. This gunship is fine, but it feels like they cut back in certain areas. I don't like the stud shooters on the side. Everything else about it looks very polished and good. But I feel like you got more value with some of the older ones. This UCS X-Wing right here, I despise this set. I don't know if anyone else is with me on that, but the proportions feel so off. The nose is so thick. The intake thingies are so thick. Not a fan of that at all. That's probably the biggest miss of 2023 to me. The Ghost looks good. Even this 4+ set, I know it's hard to love 4+ sets when you're not 4, but as 4+ sets go, I feel like this is one of the better ones. You get a nice structure. Small, yes, but it's 4+. And a vehicle. And a little bit of extra stuff. Okay. This is a nice set too. Another very usable vehicle and lots of nice figures. Yoda Starfighter's good. This thing's weird, but good. I like the weirder Star Wars sets that's like, oh, that's a Star Wars thing? Okay, hold up. Arm printing on that's cool. Okay, so we are still getting microfighters in 2023 at least. Because this is a microfighter right here. That's what I was wondering. The Yavin 4 temple that we're about to see. I don't love this set either, but the Yavin 4 temple especially. This was a huge miss. People have been waiting for Yavin 4 temple sets for so long. And I feel like this either needed to be smaller and more consistently detailed and sold for less, or if it's going to be this big, it needed to be better looking for what it was. Or just don't include the Y-Wing and make the temple itself better. Something like that. Trying to think of how they could compromise without being unrealistic about it. I don't remember this, but this looks good. I'd never afford it, but these are weird, but when you're a kid, it could be cool. I especially like the Boba Fett one. Stormtrooper one's not bad either. Darth Vader's my least favorite. And then this Chewbacca, no. This Chewbacca should not exist. I'm going to choose to believe this isn't real. And it was just a nightmare I had once. And that's it. Special thanks to Trimmed Collects for putting together this video a solid 5 months ago. Because without it, I'm not sure what I would have done. I would have had to compile all these images myself, and that would have been horrible. But yeah, we went through, and now I can definitively say that in my personal opinion, 2007 and 2013 were peak LEGO Star Wars. Let me know what you think were the best years for LEGO Star Wars in the comments if you're watching this as a VOD, and also just thank you for watching this far. I'm going to pop back over to my little hut to deliver the news. I know everyone loves watching the news, so here is the news about this channel in the next couple of weeks. Coming up this Friday, we have another Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection video with me and Travis. We're going to be playing as the droids, and it's going to get a little crazy. A little crazy. Darth Maul is going to kill thousands of people. And then, next Friday, we're going to have, word has it, a LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga video, but not your normal one. It's going to be one focused solely on death sounds, the death noises, like Yoda, and like IG-88 going, brrr, stuff like that. Yes, and as for Balloons Tower Defense 6, my plan is next Monday or Tuesday to live stream Balloons Tower Defense 6 again and possibly play co-op mode. I hope to be able to do that. We shall see. But I will not promise it. Anyway, that's all for the news. If you are not subscribed yet and you want to be, please do. If you have not checked out my trading card game yet in the description and you like card games at all, give it a chance. See if you like it. But otherwise, that's going to be it for me. I'm going away and I'm going to go eat some food because I want food. Goodbye.